Hello everyone! If you like the videos and content I do, please look in the description below. This will take you to my Patreon page, where you become a patron starting at $1 per month to help support me with what I do. Without further ado, enjoy.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host BootStrapp, here playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag once again. Game 6, Part 16. That's right, Part 16. Without further ado, let's pick up exactly where we left off. So, we killed someone who also had the mayor's blood, or, you know, the head Templar. We haven't killed him yet. For reasons unknown, he is still alive. But we killed his main bodyguard in the last episode. And we also got a new outfit, as you can see, from my guy. The crimson one. Okay, so we just fast traveled to the south side of this island, and we're going to have to do the long path around and back to the top again because we are heading to the observatory, which I thought by now we would have a, fast travel for that, but no, we do not. I wish we had one that was more easier to get to, because if I go here, I might as well go all the way across, but here I might as well go all the way around. So, here we go. Okay, you guys can sing now. Ah, this song. Jeez, little 49 man of war. Let's not get caught. Storm up ahead. Oh, because the storm activates because we got near a fort. I want to get right up on that fort and run away from it. Oh crap. Hi. Go faster. There's a tsunami to our left. Turn. That's a tsunami, guys. Go. We are literally riding this wave sideways. Are you serious? There's another one behind me? We're dead. We are so dead. Turn around. We gotta turn around in time somehow. Go. Another wave. I just want to get past you guys.
all I wanted. Jeez. These are steep waves, and I'm right in the hot spot. Okay, go, 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 go. That's the hard part, guys. We're almost home free. Turn around. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
More sail, sir! Stay out of range, Captain!
Turn. Go. Oh my god. Hi.
Fasten yourself! And land in a solid volley, sir!
Go. I just want to get to the observatory. Go.
Guns, Edward!
And we're gonna make it.
Mortars, Edward!
Leave me alone.
Right! We've been hit! No door but me! Give me some speed!
Can't go in there, it would desync us. We're gonna have to go around the far way, away from that ship. Go, 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 go. Get away from him. Oh, so we lost a whole third of our health.
Cut our guns, Edward!
Leave us alone, dang it. Please don't die. Please don't die.
It's better to drown than to wait to be hung. Get the mainsails into the wind. Awaiting order. Fire! They've handed a hit, sir.
Are you fucking kidding me? No, forget you. I'm going. Sink or swell, even a splinter. That took 23 minutes, guys. That took a total of 7 tries.
Who's this Taurus? And what's your man done to earn a death sentence?
He's a Templar, like Rogers and Hornigold. Man cooking up schemes to use the observatory for ill purposes. For power and control. The violence he'd cause with this thing would be subtle but heavy. Deadly, yet leaving no mark. Does that make sense?
Like, if there was a drought and people was thirsty, and one man had a large cask of water but gave a sip to none, he'd be a killer with no blood in his hands.
Aye, like that.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's go to the island. Jeez, I'm gonna have to subtract 23 minutes from that. Oh, you're following me?
Lord, there's a bit of a chill, isn't there? Thought we might see some soldiers in the line. Maybe they've gone?
No, they're here. Deep in the jungle.
Soldiers, just there. What should we do?
Some soldiers are already dead. Probably due to the Guardians.
Jesus, look at all this. Corpses for miles.
They brought every ounce of menace they had.
Everyone's dying. Alligator just had a meal. Why does everything get so bright? Is everything on fire? Yep. Oh, hi. Literally, like, waltzed up on you guys. So it's gonna be just like how we did it before. Those are gold. So I'm assuming they're friendlies. I don't see the other guy. He must be over there where I can't see him. You're gonna get him all killed, idiot. Grabbing as many hands as I can get, because all the hands help. something ain't right.
What is it?
Later, Ad. I'll tell you all when this is finished.
Locke's doing some weird stuff. Whoa. Should have hopped up here. I guess. That should be fine. That should be fine.
Holy Mother of Gods. Is this the place we've come to see?
Aye.
The locks are doing weird things.
Stand watch here, and let none follow.
Fits another dozen fight sight.
¡Mis piernas! ¡Oh, mis piernas! ¡Venga, muévete! ¡No puedo! ¡Mis piernas! ¡No responden! ¡No quiero quedarme aquí! ¡Será vuestro funeral! ¡Por favor, no me abandonéis! ¡Está aquí! ¡Respirad! ¡Está aquí!
Does it want me to jump the whole thing? Or does it want me to go up? Oh man, that's disorienting. Okay, here we go. Made it. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Pistol, berserker darts.
¡Registrarlo todo! ¡Hay que parar esta locura! Nuestro deber es quedarnos con Torres. ¿Dónde vais?
What's going on?
Este viejo conseguirá que nos maten a todos. Te castigarán por esto, cobarde. ¿Quién me va a castigar? ¿Un hombre muerto?
Ooh, hello. That almost killed me.
¡En el punto de mira! ¡Puedo disparar! ¡Esa rata está a tiro! ¡No te acerques a eso!
Oh crap. That stuff is bouncing everywhere. Time to go, I guess. That took a short minute to figure out. Yeah, we got this. I know what I'm doing.
Okay. This one I suggest we wait for. This one we can make almost immediately. Whoop. We're almost there, guys. Almost there.
Power for ourselves and brought these miserable empires to their knees. So much potential. So much you have not yet accomplished. I could show you things. Mysteries beyond anything that you could imagine.
Is that so? I'm waiting for the lasers. Until the rhythm lines up. So I've died to this before, guys. The laser comes shooting out and kills me, or I jumped just a bit too soon for it to turn off. Alright, it's lining up. And off we go.
Captain Kenway, ever a splinter in my side. Does this murder fulfill you?
I'm only seeing a job done, Torres. As you'd have done with me.
As we have done, I think. You have no family anymore, no friends, no future. Your losses are far greater than ours.
That may be. But killing you rights a far greater wrong than ever I did.
You honestly believe that?
You would see all of mankind corralled into a neatly furnished prison, safe and sober, yet dulled beyond reason and sapped of all spirit. So with everything I've seen and learned in these last years, I do believe it.
You wear your convictions well. They suit you.
Torres awakened something fierce. Are we safe?
With the device returned, I believe so.
What do you call this place?
Captain Kenway's Folly!
Etsawol tesu tukilan. Katwenen. We will seal this place and discard the key. Until another sage appears, this door will remain locked.
There were vials when I came here last. Filled with the blood of ancient men, Robert said, but they're gone now.
Then it's up to us to recover them, before the Templars catch wind of this. You could join us in that cause.
I will, but only after I fix what I mangled back home.
It arrived last week.
Ultra Sequence 9 complete. Achievement unlocked, just like starting other.
I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Not in this era, anyway. I wish I could explain all the strangeness, but there isn't much time. The short of it is, you saw my beloved Juno. And for a brief moment, I thought she might occupy this tender body of yours. But something went wrong. And now, she's back out there, adrift. Oh, she was magnificent once. One of a race of beautiful, wonderful creatures. They created your kind. Did you know that? Your people were tools to them. That's all you have ever been. That's all you should ever be. One day soon, I hope. For the world is nearly ready for her return. Wired. Prepared for a second coming. Uh-oh. Here they come. Those Templars. Or maybe assassins this time. Idiots. All of them. I envy you. It was her wish that I be here to greet her. It was her experiment that made it possible for my rebirth as one of these things. Ah!
Stay down! Get down on your back! Now! He's got a gun!
Guide me into the grave, beloved! I am your instrument!
Put the gun down! Drop it! Drop your weapon! Clear! Clear! Check his vitals. He's bleeding fast. Check the victim.
Are you okay? Can you hear me? Hello? Talk to me. You alright?
We noticed he was a sage.
There you are. Thank God. I hope you feel well. You look good. Can you stand? Good. Try walking around.
Sticky note.
A doctor came by, said there was a...
Don't care. Sticky note 13. Our purpose is not ours to achieve, but ours to be received, given by her graces in instruction. Death to the false fabricators of pleasure in indolence. The old order must be restored, the new order destroyed. True Templars dedicated to order and stability and peace through the application of her iron will and not through the dulling satisfactions of pleasure and indulgence.
to worry about. That the liquid in the syringe was far, far below a lethal dose. I feel terrible about all this. About everything. All our evidence pointed to you, but it was John all along. God, the things we found on his computer. Whatever you need, we'll provide. You've done an amazing job. Speaking of which, our trailer is finished. Would you like to see it? I owe you that much. There we go. I uploaded it to your database. You can watch it here or at your Animus. I think you'll love it. It really captures the essence of the era. So, take care. And again, thank you.
In a world where pirates rule the waves, these men will discover that nothing is sacred and everyone is committed to rum, plunder, and women.
Hola, ladies.
This summer, Abstergo Entertainment invites you aboard for the adventure of a lifetime. So sharpen your cutlasses, shine your hooks, and sail with the devils of the Caribbean. This virtual experience is not being rated.
So spot on. Dang. I will return to my Animus when I see the hack thing that's going over.
And, well, what now?
Talk, you idiot! Look at the light!
Isn't that the battery? I think that's the battery. Hello? Hello? Look, sorry about this. My name is Sean, and back there is Rebecca, my partner in crime.
Hello.
Bloody good work earlier, honestly, I mean it, delivering us all that data. It's really just too bad that our man on the inside was such a, how to put it? Fanatic. Fanatic is the best word, I suppose.
We take who we can get.
Exactly. Well put. We saw in John an opportunity to burrow deeper into Abstergo's cloud servers, and I'm not ashamed to say we took it. Not realizing, of course, that he was enlisting you to help him. And to blame, should anything go wrong. I suppose it all worked out very nicely in the end. Most of it, anyway.
What Sean really wants to say is, if you're up for more hacking, we are too. John gave you level 3 security clearance before you died. You should use it. The assassins don't have the resources to pay you like the Templars do, but we'll make it worth your while.
Look, we should really cut it short, Bex. 20 seconds.
All right. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. And top-notch work. Really top. Give yourself a pat on the back. And happy hacking.
But yeah, they just revealed that was Sean and Rebecca from, that you met in Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and 3. But that was in A Dozen Miles, but then they moved on to following your current character, which we don't actually have a name for. It's just a person. So we're going to do some hacking. We have enough adventure in the past episodes and enough anger for the most part. Okay, how am I going to do this? Well, I end up in a new spot. Just teleporting all over the place. See, it's not actually going this smooth this time. Let's see. Well, there we go there. Let's try this again. There we go. That took a lot longer that time. Come on, give me another video file. I like videos. I don't like reading. It takes too long.
Timestamp August 16th, 2013. The following audio clips were selected from over 160 hours of reel-to-reel tape found in the residence of the late Dr. Warren Vidic following his murder in December 2012. According to labels on the tape's canisters, these recordings were made over a 14-month period between 1980 and 1981 without the consent of their primary subject, Mrs. Eileen Bach, a colleague of Dr. Vidic's and the originator of Abstergo's surrogate initiative. Mrs. Bach is now deceased. It should be stated unequivocally that Dr. Vidic made these recordings illegally and of his own volition using wiretaps and hidden microphones. Abstergo Industries had no knowledge of his actions and disavows any responsibility for them.
And we're live. Capacitors at full. Ease the signal in. A little more. You feel anything?
Don't be timid. Double it.
No, we're taking it easy. 20%.
30.
Eileen, go easy. We're 6 past yesterday.
And boost the inputs.
Too risky.
Not if we split the I.O. signals.
25%. Ease up.
Oh, okay. There. I see something.
What is it?
Mein Gott. I hear talking.
You're okay?
Ja, ich höre Stimmen. It's German. Mein Name ist Miriam Kurz. I see a light. It's cold. Ich werde nichts sagen. There's a man with me. Mehr werde ich nicht sagen.
Keep an eye on our vitals.
Mein Name ist Miriam Kurz und ich bin eine Navajo. Des Hitlers Zwang, der macht uns klein. Noch liegen wir in Ketten. Doch einmal werden wir wieder frei. Wir werden die Ketten schon brechen.
Eileen?
Denn unsere Fäuste, die sind hart, ja. Und die Messer sitzen lose. Für die Freiheit der Jugend kämpfen Navajos.
Switch off. Powering down.
Kämpft Navajos.
Get her out of there. Oxygen from the valve.
No. No, Satish, I'm fine, really.
Quit the heroics. Just breathe. Better?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Did we get something?
It'll take a while to pass. What did you see?
It wasn't just seeing. It was feeling. Being. I was scared.
You were shouting in German?
I think I was in Germany. I was in Germany, Satish.
Good morning. Well rested?
Exhausted. Yesterday was An incredible find.
Seems so. What did it feel like?
It's foggy, but I relived the memories of a young German woman. Early 20s, I think. A man was interrogating me, looming over me and asking questions. He was shouting, but I was shouting back, and then this poem just came out, like a chant.
Fascinating. I'm eager for you to hear the tape.
Is it ready?
Yes, we transliterated the data onto an audio file. It took all night to process the language.
Spool it up.
Of course. Have a seat. Judging by the subject matter and the setting, I'd say you landed somewhere in Germany in the 1940s, 1 or 2 generations back. During the war, I'd imagine.
1940s Germany? That would be Miriam Kurtz, my ex-husband's mother.
So she's not related to you in any way?
God, I hope not. I'd hate to find out my ex-husband is also my brother.
Well, if it was Miriam Kurtz, then we hit a home run. You tapped into someone else's bloodline entirely.
Should we celebrate?
We'll listen first.
Surrogate Initiative, Test Session 23, July 29th, 1980. Host, Eileen Bach. DNA sample SB1970.
It's a little garbled at first. This is you settling into the memory.
Your name, say it.
My name is Miriam Kurtz.
Louder.
My name is Miriam Kurtz, and I am Navajo.
Where did you last see the artifact? Who holds it now?
I'll say nothing. I've told you all I will.
I don't believe that is true. Who has the artifact?
Hitler's dictates make us small and are bound in chains. But one day again, we shall walk tall. No binds will us restrain.
Enough!
A harder fist, yes, and a knife at our wrists for you to be free. Navajos lay siege.
Knock her away.
Navajos lay siege.
And that's where we pull you out.
Whoa. What would it take to get a visual render of all that?
Months, unfortunately. It took 13 hours just to process the audio. Visual takes much longer.
But Vidic is able to record audio and visual in real time. How does he do it?
His subjects are exploring their own genetic memories. That requires much less processing power.
Hold on, sorry. Eileen here.
Hello. You have 10 o'clock in Lillian's office. It's 10:13 now.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Tell her I'll be right there. And tell her we have some good news.
No problem.
You in trouble?
The monthly progress report. I'm trying to be honest about our progress, but no matter how much I polish our facts, Warren Vidic swoops in, promising the moon for pennies, and gets 10 times the funding for his Animus project.
Well, we are using his Animus technology. He's the foundation. We are the skyscraper.
Which is why he should be a tech lead, not a project director. Good work, Satish.
It's incredible footage, really. Clear and vivid. And the subject was synced for a full 62 minutes. Came out speaking French after his last session. Passably fluent. And with full recall of everything he'd gone through.
Sorry I'm late. I was reviewing some data.
It's fine. Warren was just telling me about his first subject, Mr.
No names. Call him Subject 1. Confidentiality.
And how about you, Eileen? What's your good news?
Well, we did it. We synced with an unembedded memory outside the bloodline. That's a first.
Really?
Satish was able to process the audio today. A short clip. You can hear it for yourself.
Only audio? No real-time memory feeds like Vidic has?
Well, that's the difficulty with surrogate genetic memory data. Because I'm viewing memories not embedded in my own DNA, we can't rely on my cognitive faculties to help me process the signal. All we can do is record the raw data and transliterate it later.
Hold on. You're running this experiment on yourself?
I am. It's going well.
I don't like the sound of that.
Look, the sample I'm using, the DNA comes from my own son. It's safer this way.
Ah, good thinking.
50% of my son's DNA is also mine, which reduces the danger by a huge margin. Meaning, I can now explore the memories of people who aren't directly related to me on his father's side.
But for brief periods of time, I imagine.
Right. Just a minute or two so far, but we're getting there. Come by the lab and listen for yourself.
I will, when I have a moment. Unfortunately, work beckons. Ladies?
That man is colder than a San Francisco summer.
Stay focused, Eileen. You both have important work to do.
Obviously. But my work requires his Animus technology. I feel a little caged in.
That's collaboration, Eileen. It's how science works. I shouldn't have to remind you.
I know. I'm just tired. Stop by and see us today. We have a lot to share.
If not today, then this week sometime.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Subject Zero on the old-fashioned cassette tape player back in, I want to say, the 80s and 90s. But they used, let's see, do I have anything? No. Anyway, they mostly used old-fashioned number 2 pencils to stick between those two little holes that you see right there on the screen. I'll use the mouse to represent that right here and here. And that's how they wound up the tape inside, and then you put it into a cassette tape player, and it had 3 little rods that were touching the tape, and based on, I think it was like the electrical and magnetic field on that, and that's how it would play the audio through the speakers. But now we know about Subject Zero, and then they actually have Subject 1, which was under Vivek, which is the bald head guy that we killed in Assassin's Creed 3. That took way longer than it should. Okay, we need to hack 2 more computers, and that'll be the end of today's episode, because we're way over the amount of time already, and I gotta do a lot of editing to this episode. Okay. Hopefully it won't take too long. Ooh. So close. Oh, so close. Got it. Please be a video or audio. Video or audio, that's fine, I guess. MS SO3, SO3, MO1, Angels. Mama says Count Rosenberg will take care of us now, so long as Papa and Uncle John work for him. Our home is big, but Trabanus, a small town. Mama seems happy. Pergu, 1587, 1608, CE, Elizabeth John Weston. Interesting. Uncle John, everyone else calls him Dr. D, says that's not all 5 years old who can speak 3 languages or write as well as I do. I foretell a bright future for you, Lady Beth. Like, Elizabeth? Queen Elizabeth? That's a very short name for Beth. I like reading, drawing, and writing poems, but mathematics are hard. John Francis, my brother, is better at calculations than I am. He is 1 year older. Papa wants me to get the same opportunities as my brother. He says I am fortunate that not all young ladies have private tutors. I study hard to please him. We're fasting this evening, Master Kelly. Uncle John announces. Papa grins. I know what it means. They will be working all night again. After dinner, I run up to the parlor and jump to Uncle John's lap. His beard, Uncle Papa's, is all white and rough. I asked him to tell a story. Uncle John makes every laugh, even Papa, who is usually so serious. He says that says they have to work now. Mama tells me it is time for bed. Pulls the sheets over my head and listen to the low humming voices coming from the study. I'm afraid of the dark, but not tonight. Mama, Papa, and Uncle John praying. Is that one of the Pieces of Eden? Also, speaking of Pieces of Eden, that last thing we listened to, in German, they found a artifact, which is usually a nickname for the Piece of Eden. So I wonder if we'll have a game that's in Germany. Okay, this section is honesty. Papa needs to leave now to earn money. I know about money. We need it to eat and purchase things. I do not want him to go. I give Papa a big hug and Uncle John too. I wave at them until I can no longer see their carriage. So we're looking at the Western time periods. How long will they be gone this time? I asked Mama and Papa's work. She says he gives conferences with Uncle John, providing advice to people who need it. John Francis says Papa communicates with angels. I laughed, but Mama did not. He told me he says, crossing his skinny arms over his chest. After a long pause, Mama says, John Francis is right. Your father speaks with angels, he grins. She scratches her head in sight from them. I asked Mama what an angel is. She says, it is a being from beyond, a winged entity that lives with God in heaven. I do not know what she means. John Francis says only Papa can call angels. Mama nods, saying he has a rare gift. He uses a crystal ball, John Francis declares. Like the crystal ball from Assassin's Creed 3. That was an actual crystal ball, not the other ones. The other ones were metal, like the one I have on my desk behind me. If I move my head for you, you can see it right there. And I showed it to you guys in a previous episode. Honestly, Sadim sees Papa and Uncle these days. They do not eat, they are fasting again and spend most of their time in the study. I wake up with a start and pull the blankets to my chin. It is still dark, but I hear voices downstairs. Taking a deep breath, I sneak out of bed. I walk down the stairs, avoiding the creaking ones. I fear monsters will jump out of the shadows, though Uncle John assured me he banished all the monsters from our home. I tiptoed to the door of the study and put my ear upon it. I recognize Papa and Uncle John's voices, but there is also another, much deeper voice within. A loud click. They have unlocked the door. I hide behind the cabinet. Papa and Uncle come out of the study and walk away smiling. I count to 100 and then tiptoed toward the study. No one in sight. Elizabeth, Papa says behind me, "What are you doing?" Papa makes me promise not to go into his study. There are things in there you should not see. There are 100 questions I want to ask him, but I can only nod. Wisdom. I have never seen Papa and Uncle John so happy. They whisper and laugh at things only they understand. Mama says it is because they have done good work. I have finished my dinner and asked to be excused. Mama nods and I hurry upstairs. I notice that the door to Uncle John's room is ajar. I hurry to the door, holding my breath. I peek inside. The room is subtitious or subtitious. Uncle John also says Aunt John has good taste, and he is right. I tiptoe inside Uncle John's armoire. It is filled with treasures, shiny rocks, a black mirror, a wax seal with pictures on it, a gold amulet. Ignoring everything, I pick up what looks like a globe packed in cloth. Could it be the crystal ball John Francis mentioned? Quickly I unwrap it. The sphere is heavy and feels warm in my hands. It is made of the shiniest gold. So her definition of crystal ball is the one that we know. On its surface, I see a reflection of my face and Uncle John's. Uncle John grabs the sphere and puts it inside his doublet. I shiver, but he smiles. You should not be playing with things you cannot comprehend, Lady Beth. Okay, we have been in Tribune almost 2 years now. We are happy here, happier than we've ever been. I don't know what that is. And this one's Pride. Papa continues to work while Uncle John is away. He keeps to himself and barely addresses us during breakfast, but at least he is eating now. I am feeble today, Mama says. I have a fever and tells me to stay in bed. I sleep all day and most of the night I awake famished. I dislike the night, but I am not afraid of it as I used to be. I get out of bed carefully not to make a sound. I do not want to wake up anybody. A pale light mates from the study. A door's open. Papa never leaves the door of his study open. I creep towards the light on the tip of my toes. Sneak a peek inside. Papa leans over a table reading a book. It has an odd silvery tint. Papa suddenly mumbles an incomprehensible string of words and numbers. Papa sprinkles red powder on something upon the tablet. I did it. He, when grin deforms his face. I did it. He picks up a clump of gold. Papa Guas makes me shiver. His voice is deep and he speaks words I do not understand. I hurry upstairs and crawl back into my bed. We are agreed. Man, this is long. I notice Papa and Uncle John in the distance. I pick up my dolls and hide behind the tallest oak in the garden. I try not to laugh as they walk towards me. Papa tells Uncle John that they should change the nature of their work and that they should study alchemy and stop wasting their time with angels. They pass by the oak. The book has boundless potential. Papa says, I need your help to unlock its formulas. I poke my head out. Uncle John frowns. We could work at the Imperial Court, Papa continues, producing gold in only the first step. Uncle John turns to face him. I hide again, hugging my dolls. You should not fiddle with this book, Kelly. I almost failed to recognize Uncle John's voice. You cannot imagine the evil it contains. It holds more than mere numbers. Papa protests, but Uncle John interrupts. Your associate, Master Huxley, the one who gave you that book. I dealt with him before, long ago. He cannot be trusted. Papa says that they could be rich beyond their wildest dreams. I take a quick glance. Uncle John shakes his head. No, my friend, the book will destroy you. Lust. Mama is in her room, crying. She has barely uttered 2 words in days. I suspect she has not even spoken to Papa. She has been avoiding his gaze. I am reading when a loud clang makes me jump. It's John Francis acting up again. He can be such a baby sometimes. Another clash following by a shriek, a woman's shriek. I put my book down and hurry to the door. Papa and Uncle John are screaming at each other. I walk out of the bedroom. The shouting has stopped, but I hear sobbing now from the Uncle John's room. It's Aunt Jane hurt. The door of Uncle John's room suddenly bursts open. Aunt Jane cries out after her husband, but someone interrupts her. Papa. I feel the entire floor shudder as Uncle John slams the door. He glares at me, fire in his eyes. I'm paralyzed. My eyes well up. Uncle John takes my hand and pulls me away. You should not be here. He drags me downstairs. You should not have seen this. Wrath. Papa, it's like all the great sins. Papa and Uncle John subdued speak now. When they do, they shout, which makes Mama cry, and Mama John stays in her room. I wish I could do the same. I wake up jumping. Papa is screaming again. I close my eyes, wishing things would be as they used to, but I am old enough to know better. A door slams. I look out the window, see Papa walking towards the stable, shouting, envious fool. I watch him disappear into the darkness. I run downstairs. Mama sits in the parlor, sobbing in silence. I crawl under the sofa. It is time for me to leave. Uncle John's voice is filled with sorrow. You'll be missed, both of you. Uncle John's good fortune. Mama leaves. I stay hidden and watch Uncle John's pace the room. I quietly follow Uncle John to Papa's study. Producing a key, he looks over his shoulder and unlocks the door. At life's end, you will understand, old friend. Uncle John comes out of the study with Papa's strange silver book. I'm doing this for your father. The secrets it holds are not meant for him. Monsters. Huh. Because Monsters Mama says she feels at home in Peru, but I do not. Papa will not let me do anything. He tells me the streets are not safe. Peru, 1587, 1608. C.E. Elizabeth Jane Weston. Rumors. I like it when Papa brings me to the Peru Castle. Where is that at? I'll have to look up so I know exactly where they are. Oh, European culture. Okay. It gives me a chance to escape from the house and spend time with him. He is so deemed home these days. People from all over the world gather here at the center of European culture. As Papa puts out, I wonder why important people frown so much. Because I know so much half the time. Papa sneaks with an elderly gentleman. His flowing white beard reminds me of Uncle John's. I sigh and take Papa's hand. He does not seem to notice. We do not dare walk the streets. The old gentleman complains. Even during daytime, Papa nods, saying the Peru has never been so unsafe. You know why, Master Kelly?
The Emperor. He leans close to Papa's ear. He is weak. He gives the people too much freedom. I hear that a killer runs amok, targeting noblemen and alchemists. There is a tremor in the old man's voice. They say he is a monster, a giant. Some say he is not even human. Papa declares. I squeeze his hand, wished Uncle John could be here to banish the monsters of Pergu. So he's looking really old, and she is almost to the teenage years. For my 10th birthday, okay, so 10. So she is 3 years away from being 13. For my 10th birthday, Papa will show me his workshop. I will finally have a chance to see where he spends his days and many of his nights. Most people we encounter ignore me as I follow Papa through the corridors of Pergu Castle, but some scroll or roll their eyes when they see me. The windows in this part of the castle have been sealed off with bricks and mortar. Papa carefully locks every door we pass through. Papa's workshop is a treasure trove. There is a myriad of items here, each more wondrous than the next. Color, powders, ancient scrolls, amulets. Papa works all day, reading formulas, mixing powders, boiling liquids. I watch from afar, afraid to disturb him. His work is so important. Papa constantly mutters to himself. He blinks a lot and often glances over his shoulder. He makes me nervous, especially when he barks strange words. I cannot do it, howling. Papa throws a glass beaker to the floor. It explodes in 1,000 tiny shards. I cover my face. I need the book. So he's creating like a cult at this point. Alchemist. Night has fallen when a young visitor interrupts Papa's work. He enters the workshop and announces that the Emperor has summoned his alchemist. Papa tells me to wait and warns me not to touch a thing. Then frowns. He takes my hand and drags me along. You must remain quiet. We enter a dark room where a score of old men gather around a long table. Papa mentions me to stay behind with the assistants and apprentices. A large man in black clothes with white ruff and fur hats enters. Everyone bows. I take a step back, hiding behind a lanky youth. I don't even know what that is. Assuming it's a curtain or something. The Emperor sits at the end of the table, scrutinizing everyone in the room. When he raises his eyebrow, one of the alchemists jumps to his feet. My brother has seen the monster. The man squeaks like a mouse. It is wholly black, a demon. The alchemists discuss at length. Many alchemists agree this monster cannot be human. What if it is a homunculus? Popular suggests. A deathly silence falls upon the room. Have you seen the anime Full Metal Alchemist? It explains what a homunculus is, but it is a kind of a cursed being that was created out of greed, most cases. There it is. Golem. We leave Pergu Castle before dawn. A score of guards escorts us and other alchemists for our safety. While there are so many monsters in the world, dawn creeps over the velva. Finally, we arrive at the house of the last alchemist. We will soon be home. No. Papa will not stop talking to him. Walk into the alley next to the man's house. 2 steps into, and ouch! I bump into an invisible wall. White eyes appear in the darkness. I see it. The silhouette of a giant. Marks cover the monster's pitch-black forehead. No letters emit. I stare at the white eyes. What are you? I have been called many names. The mustard voice is strange. Golem. Here they call me a golem. Papa shouts. Guards run towards us. You have just saved your father's life, little one. It rasps. Golem runs towards the river. I see it clearly now. A gigantic body, black and snowy. The monster jumps into the river. I follow Papa and the guards behind him. I observe the water. Perfectly still, not a hint of the golem. Ghost. We have never discussed Papa's imprisonment. No, not one word about it in over 3 years. Now that John Francis is away, I alone must care for Mama. Man, such a harsh life. Oh boy, nightmares. Papa will be released from prison today, but Mama worries. She says he has one last chance to satisfy the Emperor's expectations. Standing in front of the house, I hold Mama's hand. My heart beats quickly as I behold Papa's carriage. I forget to breathe when it stops 2 paces before us. Mama trembles when the carriage door opens. A pale, emaciated man with a long grizzly beard steps up. Papa! He walks by us as if we were ghosts. Mama has prepared roast lamb, Papa's favorite, to celebrate his return, but he does not eat. He simply stares at his plate, silent. Mama makes idle conversation, pretending without much success. There is nothing wrong. Papa suddenly stands up. His chair hits the floor with a loud thud. Papa storms out of the dining room, pushing invisible spirits out of his way. He shouts in a strange tongue, the same language I heard him speak when I was little. My heart is in a knot, but I hold back tears. I take Mama's hand, but nothing I can do or say will ease her sorrow. What will we do? Failure. The Emperor has restored Papa's status, but soldiers guards our house. They are not here to protect us, but are here to make sure Papa does not leave Peru. A month has passed since Papa's return. He remains distant, but at least he does not completely ignore us, though he works ceaselessly. Man, this is long. I walk through the open door Papa's study. The platter Mama has prepared for him in his hands and stop. Papa sits on the floor and begins to howl. I drop the platter and its contents spatters across the room. I run to Papa and kneel next to him. He grasps my hand and immediately falls silent. Papa's nails dig into the flesh of my hand. I bite my lip to suppress a cry. He suddenly raises a tight fist in front of my face. I close my eyes. I cannot do it. Papa's voice is bleak, desperate. Not enough. Not even a handful left. I look at him. Tears run down his ashy face. Slowly, as if revealing a priceless treasure, opens his fist. In a palm, he wrinkled the hand in a tiny bit of red dust. Curse you, D. Confinement. Papa works without rest, even though he keeps saying he already failed us. He has not slept in weeks, and he barely eats. He is but a shell of a man I once knew. Mama shakes me out of my dreams. Elizabeth, soldiers are coming. I do not react immediately, but I am used to soldiers guarding our house. I look outside. There is a column of young men in uniform in our yard. Their torches cast dances shadows upon their faces. Monsters Peru. I open the front door. The officers and 6 men facemen step inside. The officer clears his throat. By order of no, Mama darts forward, tears streaming down her cheeks. I hold her back. I cannot take him. You cannot take him away. You cannot. Not again. The soldier's eyes widen. Papa walks towards us, his face twisted in a demonic grimace. He murmurs a prayer to the strange tongue only he seems to understand. The officer tries to reason with Papa. Howling, Papa jumps on him, clawing at his face. The soldier strikes his hand, and he falls. Mama wails as I take him away. Jesus, it's getting dark. Tumble. I am 16 years old now, so 6 years later, and some of the guards in Hinven Castle have taken an interest in me. They insist on making a conversation every time I visit Papa. Okay, so she's of age, of womanlyhood. None of them interest me. Most are boorish creatures. Other are more bedraggled than hogs in a mud-filled sties. But I always smile and remain courteous. I take a deep breath within. In the distance, I spot Haven's tower. I try not to think of the babbling louse I will have to confront before seeing Papa. What is this? A cross at the top of the tower? I walk more briskly. Then the heart stops. Papa, he stands on the edge of the tower, arms wide open. I run towards the castle. I see Papa clearly now, a skeleton in tattered robes. He stares at me. No, not anymore. Not at me, but beyond. You have come. Free me, divine messenger, free me. Papa raises his hands to the sky as if praying. Heavenly guardian, guide my fall. He jumps off the tower. I support Papa's broken body. He bleeds profusely, but holds my gaze. His demons no longer haunt him. D was wise. He inhales his last breath. So, when they were fighting, he became pretty much possessed by whatever they were doing, which was alchemy, and they'd done something very, very dark to obtain this kind of knowledge, which was in that book, so that he wouldn't lose that wisdom. But his friend took it away from him because he knew that it was possessing him. And the one who stayed said, only you will know when you die, and actually it was the other way around. Divinities. Now of Queen Elizabeth called it. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. Queen Elizabeth's death reaches Peru, the Virgin Queen, after which I've been named, has passed away 1 month after my wedding. Peru, 1587-1608, C.E. Elizabeth Jane Weston. Tribute. A knock at the door disturbs my thoughts. I lift my head from the blank page on my desk and put my quill down. Come in. Janus, my husband, steps into my study. A tussock of raven hair brushes his face, and he lowers his head. How remarkably formal of him. He apologizes for disturbing me while I work. I frown, feigning annoyances, but fail to suppress a thin smile. I seem incapable of writing today. John's face lightens up. His thumb absolutely caresses the infrared handle of his cane. A package has arrived. It is addressed to Lady Beth. Lady Beth. Once Uncle John calls me thus, I have not heard from him in years. I run out of the room and hurry down the stairs as I used to when I was little. Ignoring the lettering accompanying the package, I quickly peel off the layers of cloth covering what I assume to be a framed painting. The painting displays the Virgin Queen, two ladies in writing behind her, sitting in front of their goddesses. How thoughtful of Uncle John. It looks incredibly dark to me. Johns and I stare at the painting, mesmerized, magnificent. My eyes then fixate on a verse engraving upon its frame. Johns contemplates every last detail, every tiny stroke, every subtle hue. Master John's Leo husbands Eurus and Gossarer. See what lies on the ground. Jonathan points a finger first at the golden scepter. Like the scepter from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood that the Templar had. That scepter. But then at the quiver of arrows, and finally at fallen rose. Juno, Mevius, and Vinius. Junia shakes his hand, laughing quietly. He has not expected me to answer. He should know better. Or Hera, Athea, and Epiric. John's nose in 2 inches from the painting. The three goddesses whose beauty Paris is judged. We're almost done. Jeez. I remember the story behind having read it several times. This painting is a allegory. My husband says, I suspect otherwise, but do not contradict him. This is something familiar about the painting. Is this? Yes, the golden orb, identical to the one I found in Uncle John's room when I was a child. I sit in the study alone, staring at the painting Uncle John has given me. My hands tremble as my fingers brush the edge of the dry wax sealing his scroll. I carefully break the scroll seal and unroll it. I immediately recognize Uncle John's penmanship. Lady Beth, it begins. I smile, for I am still fond of the private name Uncle John used to address me. Fairest and most noble poetess. Please accept this humble gift, for you're not so humble friend and mentor. Uncle John is much more than that. He is family, a second father to me. I hope you find it as a fitting tribute for your betrothal. I laughed quietly. I had never expected to receive such a splendid gift. If you observe the composition, you will surely recognize the trinket
You once unearthed in my chamber the golden orb. I knew it. You may think it's picture a riddle and allegory. In artistic fancy, it is not. The object in the hand of the fancy queen is real. So is its power, and so are the goddesses. Whew, that is the end of it, but jeez, that was long. So, we're going to probably go hack another computer, but we're going to do that next episode. Man, I am out of breath. So, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, at BootStrapp. That was into Assassin's Creed Black Flag Game 6, Part 16. I'm your host, at BootStrapp, and I will see ya.